Today we are going to be cooking some Chinese food, specifically beef and broccoli, one of my favorite dishes. Super simple, really fast at the table. I cook as much Chinese food around this house as I do Italian food. These two cuisines are neck and neck for the most delicious cuisine in the world. Click the Substack link below if you want to know a little bit more why I cook so much Chinese food. But this beef and broccoli dish, again, easy to get to the table, super simple. And if you're new to Chinese food, I couldn't think of a better place to start. Okay, obviously we're gonna need some broccoli. We've got some really great garlic I got up at the market yesterday. This massive piece of ginger, only buy ginger from Chinese markets. When you go into your typical grocery store, you know, white people get the worst version of ginger, just these skinny little things. It just feels like it's almost all skin. These things are massive. Like, look at this. This is gonna be great. We're just gonna use probably a knob of ginger like that. And you can use flank steak or bavette. If you follow me, you know my preference for bavette in almost every situation where a flank steak can show up. But we got this really great piece of bavette. It's about 2 pounds. I'm gonna be cutting this into thirds like this because you're gonna be cutting it against the grain and you want pieces. You know what, if I was cutting it against the grain, you'd have pieces this long. So we're gonna cut this into thirds. Let me show you how it's done. Okay, again, so we wanna cut, when you're gonna be cutting your beef for the beef and broccoli, you can see the grain running this way. We're gonna wanna cut against it. Now, if we were gonna go full length of this, you're gonna have really, really big pieces. So we wanna get these down. You could almost do half, but I'm gonna go thirds here. So, now let's just do this one at a time. So, cut it on a bit of an angle too, so you get, you know, a really nice thick piece like this, right? So you want it to be relatively thin, but kind of wide. So cutting it on an angle gives you that, and you get all the nice grain from the steak along there like that. So let's go. It's a really good idea to start cutting this right, like pull the steak right out of the fridge. No need to bring it to room temperature, because if it's a little firmer when it's cold and just a lot easier to work with and a lot easier to get consistent thin slices. Okay, and there we go. Again, all of them nice and wide, super thin. That's what we want. Okay, we will just add all of our ingredients, which you'll find below, right to the beef. So, 2 tablespoons of a light soy sauce, 2 tablespoons of oyster sauce, about a teaspoon of salt, about half a teaspoon of white pepper. Take it easy with the white pepper. It can be really overpowering. And to get that restaurant quality tenderness, add 1 teaspoon of baking soda. And last but not least, about a tablespoon of neutral oil. So you can use an avocado oil. I'm just using a canola because that's all I have today. Okay, let's give that a big mix with a clean hand so it's very well incorporated. And we're just gonna leave that to marinate for about 15 to 30 minutes tops. Okay, next let's just get 2 cups of Thai Jasmine rice, washed and ready to go. Okay, we are just going to wash this rice with our hands until this water runs clear. You can see it gets cloudy really quickly. As soon as it does, just pour it on. But another minute of this, it should be good to go. Okay, now that the water's running clear, really easy. Just knock it into a sieve, wash it out, and fill that container back up with the rice resting in the sieve, and just let it soak for about 15 to 20 minutes. So we've got our washed, soaked rice. This is why I do this in the sieve. 2.2 cups. Drop it in and push the button. So simple. Okay, next we just prep our broccoli. Just gonna cut off the ends of that. We just want little bite-sized pieces like this. Just have. Okay, now we're just gonna blanch that in some salted boiling water. Okay, so we're gonna do a really quick blanch. 30 to 45 seconds is all it needs. And we've got some ice water here. For when we pull it out, you just stick it right in there, and it stops the cooking process, and it keeps it from losing that green color. Okay, that's all we need. Okay, so let's just prep our aromatics. We've got 2 really thick pieces of garlic here and the ginger. Let's just get this garlic smashed and ready to go. If you're looking for a great knife, we work with a fantastic partner called Craftstone, and we do these custom knives. You can get them on the website. Click the link above. We've got a contest going on right now. Okay, with ginger, you can clean the skin off in a couple different ways. You can just use a regular vegetable peel off the skin. I find it really easy. It looks precarious. I take the back of a knife and I just peel it along like this. You can also just cut that side off. In my opinion, that wastes just too much of it. So I prefer to peel. What you want to do, cut very thin little slices, small piles like this. Cut those into, that's actually all we need. This is a touch too much, so we don't need this. Save that for later. Just cut those into little shoestrings, and then we're just going to dice them as fine as you can get it. Okay. Okay, let's quickly make the sauce. So we're gonna go with 4 tablespoons of just your classic oyster sauce. I didn't have any dark today, so I just went 2 tablespoons of light soy sauce and 2 tablespoons of shoyu. 2 tablespoons of sugar. 1 teaspoon of MSG. MSG, you might not be able to get it where you are. You can always get most of these ingredients on my website. And if you're a member, that's free shipping with no minimums. So 2 teaspoons of sesame oil. 1 cup of reduced chicken stock. You can use store-bought, whatever you want. I use fresh. I always have a freezer full of the stuff. We're gonna go 2 tablespoons of shaoxing wine. I'll have an Amazon link for you guys in the description below. Again, not always easy to find if you don't live in a metro, sort of downtown area with a great Chinatown. And 1 tablespoon of cornstarch. And just give that a mix. Let's bring it all together. First thing we gotta do is sear off the beef. We're gonna get this wok scalding hot. And as you can see, hopefully you can see in the video here, we've got the pan is, the wok is smoking. So we're just gonna put some neutral oil in here. Now, if you don't have a wok, you can do this in any sort of very wide shallow pan. Any round bottom wok from Chinatown, typically pretty affordable. You can get these for about 30 bucks. So strongly advise you to get as big a one as you can. They're fun to cook in too. What we want to do is just get some nice brown color on all the beef, and then we're going to take it right out. We're going to keep that temperature high. Now we're just going to fry off our aromatics. Then you're going to want to put a little bit of neutral oil. This is a 30-second fry. You don't want to burn your garlic. You immediately add in half our broccoli. The beef goes back in. Just give it a quick stir for 30 seconds or so. If your sauce has been sitting off to the side for a bit, that cornstarch will settle on the bottom, so make sure you give it another quick whisk before you add it in. And just all along the edges is where you want to pour it. And we're going to let that thicken up. There we go. There's a nice thick sauce. Man, I love this dish. 30-second blanch is all you need. Nice crispy broccoli. Got baking soda in the marinade. Gets us so tender. It's just incredible. Guess who wants some? Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe below. Make sure to enter our contest for our custom set of 5 custom chef's knives. They're absolutely incredible knives, and you can pick any blade you want, any handle you want. It's a really good deal. They're worth about $1,000. And any of the ingredients that you don't have in your local community, you can probably grab on my website, so go check it out. If you're a member of Jeremy Popham Cooking, you get a code for free shipping and a 10% discount. No minimums required. You can just treat it like shopping at the grocery store. Thanks again. Talk soon.